in the United States is at an all-time low. There are over 118,000 people in the United States awaiting organ donors at this time. The United States is an opt-in state as opposed to an opt-out state, meaning that the choice to be an organ donor is one that you have to choose and opt into rather than choosing to opt out. I propose that in the United States, if we were to be an opt-out state for organ donors, we could help increase the number of donors and save lives in the United States. There are many myths that come with organ donation. Some of them are fear of not being taken care of as well as if you were not a donor. Some of them are family members just simply grieving too much to make the decision, and others are just simply people not taking the time to choose to opt in. That's why I feel that the United States becoming an opt-out state could help increase the number of organ donors in the United States. Do you guys know how many people's lives are lost on a daily basis waiting for an organ donor?
30,000.
20,000.
No, 21 people die on a daily basis waiting for an organ donor. Do you know how many people can be saved by having one donor?
10?
6.
One organ donor can save up to 8 patients, just major organs alone. That doesn't include some of the smaller organs such as tissues and things. Do you know what some of the fears of a family member may be and why they would choose not to donate organs of a loved one who passes away that has not made the decision to donate?
Scared, I guess. About.
Exactly, the fear, I think the fear of the unknown. And according to the U.S. Department of Health, they state that a lot of people are just in grief so much at the time and shock that making that decision is just the last thing that they want to do. That's why it's so important to have this decision made up front. That's why I feel that if we as America would choose to be an opt-out state versus an opt-in state, we would automatically be organ donors unless we made the choice not to be an organ donor. Of the 118,000 people, according to the Organ Donor of America, 96,000 of those are waiting for kidneys alone. In the United States, there is a huge screening process that comes into play before they can become a donor or even to receive an organ as well. That's why it is so difficult for people to have like a living relative or find their own donor. And cadavers are the best choice for organ donation. Do you know why anyone would maybe be afraid to become an organ donor?
Fear of the care that you're going to receive?
Exactly. That is one of the largest myths when it comes to organ donation. According to the Donor Network of America, people fear that they will not be able to get the care that is needed by their healthcare professionals. So they fear that they won't work as hard on them to save their lives. That is a huge myth, and approximately 40% of all Americans believe that. Physicians, nurses take an oath that they are to save lives, and that is what they do. When in the hospital and in that situation, they're there to save the life of the person that's either been injured or whatever the case may be. It is not until the time of death that the patient would be given, or the physicians would be given the patient's information to say whether or not they are an organ donor. So, as I said, this is a total myth. You would get the care that you need, and the nurses and doctors would work just as hard as they would on someone who is not an organ donor. As I said, in the United States is an opt-in state. I feel that us choosing to be an opt-out state would increase the number of donors in the United States and would save hundreds of thousands of lives on a daily basis.